Hi, this is John with Data Coach. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a solution to Alteryx Weekly Challenge number 123. When will rabbits rule the world? Let's get started. Alteryx Weekly Challenge 123, when will rabbits rule the world? I wanted to do a video on this one because I thought this was a really fun challenge and a fairly tricky one, especially for one they categorize as intermediate. So in this challenge, we're given an initial population of rabbits, one male and one female. And we want to know that given these rules that I'll explain in a minute, at what month will the rabbit population be at least twice as large as the human population? The rules that we have to follow are, starting with one female and one male that are 0 months old. For each month, each female produces a litter of 4 bunnies, 1 male and 3 females. However, a female cannot start to reproduce until she is at least 4 months of age, and rabbits only live to 24 months in age. So they're alive from months 0 to 23, and they die at the 24th month. Additionally, the human population grows at 0.058% month over month. So you can see here, here's the initial data, 1 male, 1 female, age 0. Date, we've got July 2018, and the human population is whatever number that is. It doesn't really matter. And the output, we have our date is August 2022 is what we're going for. And we see our rabbit population and the human population. So the reason I wanted to make this video is, as far as I can tell, you have to do an iterative macro to solve this. There's probably other ways to do it, but iterative macro was the first thing that came to mind, and every solution I've seen uses an iterative macro, so seems to be the right way to go. So let's go ahead and start by building out our macro. Before I do anything, I'm going to go back to our browse tool here, or the input tool, and I'm going to copy and paste all of our information from there into a macro input. And this was male pop, female pop, age, date, and human pop. And we turn that off. Okay, so we've got our macro input. One thing I want to do, because I think our numbers are going to get pretty big, the first thing, let's just drop a select tool onto here. Yeah, you see male and female pop are just bytes. Well, they're going to get fairly large, I imagine. So let's just make them int 64s. Why not? Age, I'm not too concerned about that. Date's a date, which is good. Human pop is also going to get... Actually, I'm going to make human pop a double, because we're going to be multiplying that by 0.058%. So we're not going to have an integer every single time. So let's just go ahead and make this a double. So what we have to do is model out this growth. So we know at age 1, well, they still can't reproduce, so we're just going to have 1 male and 1 female. At age 2, same thing. At age 3, same thing. At age 4, though, this female is going to have a litter of 1 male and 3 females. So then we're going to have 2 males and 4 females, and then so on. So what we need to do, I think, is split up our data into different groups based on the age. So age less than 4 and age greater than 4. And I'm going to go ahead and, in the text input right here, or this macro input, I'm going to make another thing. Oops. Another record where they're of age. That way I'll have things going through each of these nodes of the filter tool. So we have, going through the true node, we have the rabbits that are not of age to reproduce. And the false node will be the rabbits that are of age to reproduce. So what we want to do to these rabbits up here in the true node that cannot reproduce yet is let's grab a formula tool. And we want to add a month to their age. So we'll update the age by doing age plus 1. And likewise, we will update the date by doing date time add date 1, where we add a month. So all that happens up here in this formula tool is their age and the date are both incremented by 1. The male and female population do not change. And we'll worry about the human population later. So next, I'm going to do another formula tool. And this will be for rabbits. So these rabbits right here are of age. So let's go ahead and update the male and female population. So the male population, let's go back to this. We know that for every female, she produces a litter of 1 male and 3 females. So that means for every female population, we are adding that to the male population. Or that is our new male population, I should say. Likewise, the females will be the female population times 3. I think I actually want to do something slightly differently here. Let's think about this. This female right here, she's of age to reproduce. So I think we should split this off into another formula. So we're going to have 3 formula tools here. The first one will be non-breeding age. The second one right here will be new rabbits. And this third one we will increment the breeding rabbits. So this right here is solely new rabbits. So that tells me male and female are correct, but we also need to update the age. And that's going to be 0 because these are all brand new rabbits. And likewise, let's just go ahead and update the date again. If I run this, see that now that 1 female produced 1 male and 3 females, and they're both 0 months old in the month of August. Yep. So now on this last one, we're not going to add a new rabbit, so male and female will stay the same, and we're simply going to increment the age and the date, just like we did on this upper formula tool. And I'm sure that we could do this with fewer tools, but I actually feel like this method is a little more intuitive. It makes more sense logically. And in my opinion, if you can do something in fewer tools, but it's more difficult for anybody to understand what's going on, is it really more efficient? I don't think so. So what I want to do now is union these 3 things together. So this will be, again, our original rabbits that are not breeding age. What happened to my... Oh, I hid that. So our non-breeding age rabbits, we have our new rabbits and the breeding rabbits all combined together in this union tool. So I go ahead and run this. So you see we have our new rabbits, rabbits that aren't breeding age yet, and the rabbits that are. And now we see the date and the human population are the same across the board. So what I think we need to do now is calculate how many rabbits we have. So let's grab a summarize tool. We will group by age, no, by date and human population, because those should be the same regardless. And we're going to sum up the male and females. So now we have the total counts of males and females. Right. And then we need to make a calculation. So we'll grab a formula tool. And we'll call this rabbits. And that'll simply be some male plus some female. Make that int 64. And here's where I'm going to go ahead and increment the human population. If you remember, this is growing at a rate of 0.058% per year. So I'll multiply this times 1.00058. And that's already a double, so there's nothing for us to do there. Okay, so let's just stop for a minute and think about what we've got. We've got our date, human population, and total rabbits. And knowing that this is an iterative macro, that means that we have to have an iteration output and a solution output. So I'm thinking I want my solution output to be formatted in the same way that the output is here. So we see we got date, rabbits, and humans. So let's configure this right here in that same way. So date, put rabbits up here, humans, and then I'll deselect the male and female because we don't care about the individual breakdown. Oh, to see humans is, let's just go ahead and make humans an N64 at this point to get rid of those decimals. Okay. So we've got that. So now what we have to do, so this was going to be our solution output. Oh, one more thing that we have to do is compare the number of rabbits to the human population. So I'll make one more field here. And I'll just call this test. And we'll say rabbits greater than or equal to 2 times human pop. And I'll make this a Boolean field. So of course it'll say false right now. And then we'll drop a filter on here. And we'll say if test is true. So what I'm looking for in this macro is whenever the rabbit population is more than 2 times the human population, it's going to flow through this true node right here. And this will be our solution output. So we'll drag a macro output. We'll call this solution, and I'll give it an anchor of S. So we don't need that browse anymore. But now we've got a bit of an issue. Because you see, out of this false node, we have this information right here, but this doesn't really help us increment the next month. We've lost that, this information right here. Because we need a record for each group of rabbits at each age. I need to know how many rabbits are age 1, and how many are age 0, and how many are age 5. And you see up here, we've lost that information. So what I think I'm going to do, is I'm going to use an Append Fields tool. And I'm just going to append this false flow to the pre-aggregated data over here. Make sure we turn that errors off. I'm going to get rid of all the target stuff because I don't care about that. I only care about the source information coming from this union. Also going to get rid of those, so everything is named the same. If I run this, notice that this is now identical to our union output. And this is actually what our iteration output is. This will be the information that flows back into the macro when it's run the second time, and then the third and fourth, and it's going to keep on doing that until something flows through this true node right here. So we can go ahead and grab another macro output, and we'll call this iteration with an anchor abbreviation of I. So there's one more thing that I've noticed that I think I want to do before we run this. And that's right here. New rabbits. As we get farther into this, there's going to be rabbits of different ages making babies. See, right here we only have this one. Actually, let's just go ahead and mock that right now. I'm going to make another row. But this time there's going to be a different age, a breeding age. And you see when I run this, we have 2 lines of age 0 rabbits. I don't know if that would mess anything up, but to be safe, let's just go ahead and summarize. We'll group by age, date, and human population. And we'll sum male and female. And we'll get rid of that sum underscore. In this way, we've guaranteed ourselves, they're guaranteed that we're only going to have one record per age group at every step along the way. So you see, we had 2 records, and now we only have, pardon me, only have the 1. So I think we're ready to save this. Oh, one more thing. Click in a blank spot, go to Workflow, make this an iterative macro. And now we have to go to View, Interface Designer. And we need to, I'm going to change the icon, make that one. We need to identify our iteration output will be, or input. There's only one input, so not much of a choice there. Iteration output will be the iteration. And we shouldn't have to mess with any of this. So now we can go ahead and save this. And I'll call this rabbit macro. So now that's saved, we can go back to our original start file. I want to check out, it shouldn't matter. I shouldn't need to change any of the field types because I do it in the macro. So go to my macros folder where I just saved that. Find rabbit macro. Connect this. And I run this and it should hopefully give us the right answer. So iteration output is blank, which is what I expect. And you see right here, we've got a date of August 2022 with 785 rabbits. Well, our rabbit count is a little slightly different. I'm not really sure what's causing that. I did this one before and my rabbit count was the same. So I'm really not sure why it's different. Although in the original challenge, they actually say you might come up with different numbers. So right now I don't know why they're different, but we have the right date. August 2022 is when... Oh, you know what? You know what happened? I forgot one of the rules. Rabbits die at 24 months in age. So let's go up here and add a second filter. And we will say age is less than 24. And save that. We'll run this again, and hopefully our count of rabbits will match theirs. There we go, that's perfect. For some reason our human population is also different. So we got date, we've got rabbit, but human is different. I think it might be what I'm doing over here. I'm really not quite sure. Honestly, I'm not going to worry about it. It doesn't impact the answer at all. We got the date, we got the rabbits. That's all I really care about. So, thank you for watching this lengthy video. I hope you got something out of it. I thought this was a really fun and good challenge. There's not a lot of practice that we get for iterative macros, so when I find one, it's always good to talk about it. But in any case, that's all I have. Thanks for watching. As always, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Data Coach channel for more awesome lessons on Alteryx and all things data analytics and visualization. Follow Data Coach on Twitter at AskTessellation and follow me personally at jemery_dataviz. Thanks again.